2, 1. We're live online. How we doing on Greg's?
Done. It's not live. Why isn't it live?
Hit done.
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 Done. Takes me back there.
I don't know what's happening.
Well, let's just go with yours. Hey, 8 times a charm.
There we go.
8 times a charm.
Starting live video.
Hey!
Hey, what's happening? Guys, we're trying to go live in 2 separate locations today for the very first time. You are live both on the Aaron Advantage page on my phone, and then this phone right here we are looking at live from Greg Keith. So it looks like we do have both of us live today for Real Talk Real Estate episode number 44.
44.
Hard to believe I've already done 44 episodes between me and Greg together. It has been a wild ride. We really appreciate everybody who has gotten on the show. Check this out. Let us know what you guys want to know about, all that fun stuff. So today we are talking about Halloween being over.
It's over.
Last week we talked haunted houses. This time, Halloween's already done, which you know what that means.
What does it mean, Aaron?
It means the holidays are fast approaching. You go to any grocery store, whether that be Walmart or Schnucks or anywhere else where holiday things are sold, the pumpkins are gone, the Christmas trees are out, and everybody's already in the mindset of it's time to get ready for Christmas and the rest of the holidays.
Well, let's not forget about Thanksgiving.
I agree with that 100%. I am all about keeping the turkey in our thoughts, respecting the Thanksgiving holiday, and my wife will tell you that I don't even let the Christmas tree go up in our house until Thanksgiving is over.
So, Hallmark movies, are they already started in your house?
Bit of a sore subject.
Sensitive subject around the
office. Holiday movies or Hallmark movies have not started yet in my house, but once they do, they won't stop.
They've started in my house.
Yeah,
Not happy.
I'm happy that hasn't happened yet. So, anyways, today we are talking specifically about sellers during the holiday season. A lot of people think, Halloween's done. We got Thanksgiving. We got Christmas. We got snow on the way.
Mm-hmm.
May not be the best time to sell their houses with that going on.
A lot of people are apprehensive about the market in the winter because it's seemingly that there's not people looking.
Right.
And that's not the case.
Not the case at all.
Not the case.
As a matter of fact, a lot of people don't realize there's some specific advantages to selling during the holidays and during the winter time. And I really want to touch on those today, as well as kind of talk about how to specifically handle showings that are going on during that time period, because there's a little bit of a different way to handle a couple things when you have your house on the market during the holidays. So first things first, Greg is on the keys. He's typing in here on the bottom. So if you have questions about anything that we've got going on, let us know in the comments down below. And also, if there's anything else that you want to know about, feel free to let us know that as well. So first things first, selling your home during the winter months. As Greg mentioned, a lot of people think there's just not as many buyers who are out there looking at this time of year. Sometimes that may be the case. There are families who are thinking, hey, you know what? We got the holidays. I want to keep my kids in the same house. We don't want to have to deal with moving and doing all these things.
Right.
But the people who are out there looking are way more serious if they're actually out looking at homes.
That's right.
So those people, if they're thinking about making a move during the holiday season, they're not just kind of tossing the idea around. They've got to buy a house. They're ready to go. And if they're looking at yours, there's a strong chance that they're going to be interested in something that you've got. So that is one great reason to try to sell your home during the holidays.
Let me fire a question at you real quick. If anybody knows me really well, I'm a borderline Clark W. Griswold when it comes to decorating the yard. So let's say that I want to put my house up for sale. I'm thinking about it. How do you feel about Christmas decorations?
That's a great question, and that's actually one of the things I wanted to talk about. Christmas decorations, holiday decorations in general, whether that's wreaths on the front door, whether that's Christmas trees or garland or anything else. I always tell my sellers, hey, you know what? It's your house. You do what you need to do to make yourself feel comfortable. But you also have to understand that although this is your home, if you're trying to get it sold at this time period, you've also got to remember that it's a product on the market that we're trying to sell, and we want to neutralize that stuff as much as possible. Right. So maybe you don't go crazy overboard. Maybe instead of 5 Christmas trees, Clark, you just do the one. Maybe instead of 170,000 lumens worth of light in the front yard, maybe a simple strand around the gutters.
What's the number threshold on the light up deer?
The number line up deer, I say we limit that to, just one sleigh.
Yeah, okay.
So 8 tiny reindeer, totally cool with that.
And if anybody wants to get me a Christmas tree, the 40-foot Christmas tree at Walmart, I need for my yard. FYI.
It needs for his yard. So yeah, that's something that, even Thanksgiving, a lot of people want to put like cornucopias out with different kind of things. I think decorating for the holidays is definitely something that's a benefit to selling your home at that time, because it lets people kind of see what it's going to look like during their Christmas in their home. It's going to let people feel the warmth of the family and everyone else who's there, so they can see themselves living there. But if you go crazy overboard, they're going to be stuck looking at your decorations. They're not going to be able to focus on looking at the house, and it's probably going to do more harm than good at that time.
So let's talk about vacant housing. If you're listing a house and you've already moved on to your next house and your house is remaining vacant, what tips do you have for our viewers about making that winterized?
Great question. The first thing I tell people is, if you have the ability, keep the utilities on, period. Some of the worst things that you can do to houses is leave them sitting empty with no regulation on temperature and humidity. So if you've got the ability and you've got the finances available to keep the utilities on, do that first. Bare minimum, keep them on. The other thing I would say is keep it at a temperature where obviously your pipes aren't going to freeze. Keep it around the 50s if possible, something like that, because it's better for the house to be that way. But ultimately, if you can, I tell everybody, if you want to make that house as appealing as possible, if you got a vacant property and you got people who are out in the winter and they're looking at houses and they go into 2 different houses, one's vacant, one's occupied, and they, on paper, are basically the same house. Doesn't matter how good a condition your vacant house is in, how awesome the amenities are, or how amazing your updates are. If they walk into another house that's exactly the same, comparable, and that one is nice and warm and inviting, and they walk in yours and it's 45, 50 degrees and cold, that's automatically going to make an impact. So if you can keep that temperature up around 68, 70 degrees, that's going to be the best way to kind of keep it in a good spot that people are going to be interested and feel welcome in the house, and they're not going to run in and be like, hey, I see my breath, I got to get the heck out of here.
And I'll add something here. Sometimes we hear people using space heaters to warm up the pipes or keep them in a local location where their pipes won't freeze. We strongly discourage that. They've made great advances in space heaters. However, it is still a hazard.
It's a massive hazard. You don't want to do that. That can cause all kinds of problems, not only with the plumbing, but obviously it's a fire hazard as well.
Especially if you're not there.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're not in the home, do other things to make sure you keep it going.
All right, so we're in the season where the leaves are coming down by the pound. What are your tips and advice for keeping the yard manicured?
That's a great tip. I tell everybody that, one of the things you got to keep track of is the fact that the video interrupted on my channel. So these things happen. We'll go ahead. I'm gonna have Greg go around and check out and see if maybe potentially we can get it going on our side. I think it's back up and live. So, but no, the question, in case you didn't hear it when he interrupted, is what can you do about all the leaves that are falling in your house or in your yard? Hopefully not in your house. For showings.
If it's in your house, you got a problem.
That's right. That's a huge problem. And leaves at that point is probably the least of your worries. But the truth of the matter is, you get one chance to make a first impression. Some leaves on the ground, obviously not that big a deal. But if you're talking full carpet coverage of leaves, people are going to look at that, and the first thing they're going to think is, uh-oh, this guy's not maintaining his yard and keeping the leaves picked up. What other maintenance items could they have potentially neglected? You get one chance to make a first impression. Make sure your curb appeal is on point when people pull up to the house. Get your sticks picked up. Get your leaves raked up. Make sure that you can see the grass as much as possible, because especially at this time of year, you got those serious buyers. They're going to have more thoughts and concerns and questions and things that they want to make sure that they can address. So too much of a good thing is really not that good in this case.
Okay, well, we got a question from one of our loyal watchers, Sam Walker. Hey,
so, Sam.
It says, is it true that you should bake cookies at a showing, and does it really help? Depends on the cookie.
Well, Sam, if you're anything like me, baking cookies could be a bad idea because I'm not good at it and they end up burnt and it smells terrible. But no, that's absolutely something that we recommend. If you're able to do so, if you've got somebody in the house who's a fantastic baker and they're good at baking breads or cookies or other things like that, we never discourage people from doing that. As a matter of fact, it's got a twofold benefit there. First off, gonna smell great.
Going to smell great.
Who doesn't love the smell of fresh baked cookies? If you know a person who doesn't, I don't want to meet him. This guy, like, for real, I don't get this guy.
I'm just kidding. Love cookies.
Second off, if you offer a refreshment for a buyer when they're coming through your house, it's another way for them to kind of sit and relax in the home and have that taste and that feel of comfort that's welcoming them. That, they might sit and relax a little bit longer, pay a little bit more attention, and really remember more about your house than others that they may be viewing at that time. So great question, Sam.
Great question, Sam. So let's say, I know we're getting towards the end of our talk here, Santa Claus lands on the roof, causes roof damage.
Yeah.
Is that covered by insurance?
I would assume that is not an act of God. So hopefully Santa's got some liability coverage because I think that's his fault.
I think so too.
Is that vehicular or is that homeowners?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
We will take that up with our insurance agents and let them kind of chime in on that one to see how Santa landing on the roof, damaging shingles is handled.
Absolutely. Well, Aaron, you got any other tips as we start heading into the winter months?
Yes, absolutely. So just one more thing. A lot of people, like Greg said, think that there's not as many buyers out there during the winter months. And that could be true at times. But the other thought is there's a lot of people who don't think that people are selling during the winter months. We're already operating in a pretty limited inventory market, which to our sellers' benefit is pretty good, It's a supply and demand game. We've got a low supply and we've got high demand, so that is working to sellers' benefit. Well, guess what? Even in the wintertime, a lot of people have that thought that, maybe I don't want to sell right now. Maybe I'll take it off the market. I won't put it up right away. Or if there's somebody who's thinking about selling, I'll just wait until springtime when everybody else is listing their homes.
Right.
That's inviting additional competition. You don't want to do that. If you're in a position that you can sell and you can have it on the market and still remain calm and all that during the winter months, you may have limited activity at that time. The truth of the matter is you have a whole lot less competition. You can be a lot more picky on the offers that you're getting, and you can command a higher price. Right. Supply is even further down. Demand is still pretty high, so that's a good time to remain competitive and get a good price for your home.
And I think it's also worth noting that when you put an offer and accept an offer on a house, you still have a time frame past that. You don't have to get out or get into that house right away.
Absolutely.
In Indiana, we have 30 days until the closing.
Right.
Plus, you can negotiate up to another 30 days
another
or whatever
30 days post possession.
Yeah. So it's not immediate, but it's worth forecasting the future and mapping that out on your calendar.
That's a great point. He brings up if I'm selling Greg's house and he accepts an offer today. It's November 6th. We're closing December 6th. He's getting possession until January 6th. This guy's going to have his home or have his holidays in his home no problem right now. So if that's what you're worried about, you're thinking you're going to have to be moving during Christmas and Thanksgiving, that's just not the case. So don't let that be a determining factor in whether or not you put your home up during the holidays.
Right. And let's be honest, during Christmas break, that's a great time to pack up a house.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're already packing up the tree.
Yeah. 100%.
Right.
And that actually brings another point that almost slipped my mind. This is a great point too. A lot of corporate relocations, people who are moving from one city in one state across the country or sometimes just across a region. A lot of those relocations happen 2 times a year. They try to get them done during the summer when kids are off school, or they try to get them done during the holiday break when kids are out of school. So there's actually more opportunity for you to potentially hit some relocation clients that you may not have had because you'd have other competitors in the market at that time.
Right. Are we missing anything before we sign off today?
No, I think that's some good stuff for today.
But I think we've got one major thing we're forgetting. Your civic duty, get out there and vote today. Get out there and vote.
It is election day. Make sure that if you have the opportunity, you get out there and do that. And actually, there's one more big thing coming up.
What's coming up?
We haven't talked about this yet, but guess what, everybody? I'm going to create an event on the page.
I think I know what it is now.
You guys all tuned in. You watched it live as I ate a 5-pound burrito at El Patron. And guess what?
There it comes again.
Next Saturday, we're doing it again. We're going live. That is Saturday, November the 17th at Jake's Wayback Burgers on Cross Point Boulevard on the east side of Evansville. I'm going for the triple challenge. That is 9 pounds of beef, or 9 patties on a burger. About that size. We're going to do it live in the store. If you want to come out and view that while we're there, come on out and be part of the live audience. Greg loves getting the crowd going, especially
we're gonna
if
get the
I'm
crowd
able
going.
to. If I'm able to get that last bite down, he's going to get everybody excited. It's going to be a heck of a good time, and we'll also stream it live and go ahead and make sure we get a video of that afterwards as well. So if you know any other food challenges that you haven't let us know about yet, let us know in the comments on this video, that video, whatever you got to do, and stay tuned and RSVP to the event if you want to come out and cheer me on.
Hey, one more thing, the Turkey Dash.
Turkey Dash, that's right. So it's actually Evansville Rescue Mission Drumstick Dash. This Saturday, 8 a.m. at the Evansville Rescue Mission. Actually, it's not at the Rescue Mission this year. The event details will actually be posted in the comments below. I'll give you a link to the actual race day information. The Evansville Rescue Mission puts this on every single year. I actually am the mascot of that race. I get to dress up as Butterball the turkey this Saturday morning. The truth is, it's for a fantastic cause. The money raised at this race goes to supporting over 2,200 tri-state families, providing them baskets of food for Thanksgiving. Over 60 pounds of food per family.
That's amazing.
Generally donated, and a lot of that is funded by the Evansville Rescue Mission. So I've got another video actually posted down in the feed somewhere. If you find that and you share that and you like the page, I've got several comp codes. If you want to run that race for free, we can get you in there. If you want to get a group together, they're doing a 5K or an 8K this year, and all those codes work for either of those races. It's a phenomenal cause. Whether or not you're interested in running, you can always also just donate to the cause. So make sure that there's tri-state families who are able to get a Thanksgiving feast this year. If you have any questions on that, hit me up, 812-779-6273. I can get you in touch with the people who can help with that. And as always...
Hold on. On our way out, I've got one turkey joke.
Oh, gosh. Here we go.
What does a turkey say in outer space?
Nothing?
Hubble, 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 hubble.
And on that note, we are out. Thanks for checking out the Aaron Advantage. You got my number. Hit up Greg if you have any questions at
812-454-8103.
Thanks for checking us out. We have a great time doing this. We look forward to seeing you next week. See you guys. Oh, it's so hot in here.
It is. We're still alive.
I'm still alive.